Hey second graders! This week we are going to be starting our final writing unit for the year, which is opinion writing. And opinion writing is really fun because it's a chance for you to write about your opinion. And your opinion is just what you think. So someone's opinion can't be right or wrong. We might have different opinions, but one isn't necessarily better than the other. It's just what you think. And what we're going to be practicing in writing is just giving reasons and evidence to support your opinion, to kind of help other people understand why you think certain things. To start with, we are going to be writing about something you're familiar with, which is books. And earlier in the year, you all had practice with writing or at least telling book recommendations. And that's when you were thinking, all right, this book is really awesome. I enjoyed reading it. So now I'm going to explain to somebody else why I thought it was a good book and why I think they should read it. So let's go ahead and get started. To think about the different parts of opinion writing, I want you to think about an Oreo. And in this case, we're using Oreo as an acronym. That means each letter stands for a part of our writing. So the first letter O stands for opinion. We need to start by telling the reader what our opinion is. And we're writing about books. To me, I think the easiest opinion that we can start with is thinking of a book that you really like and telling someone that you think they should read it. So like I'm going to be writing about why I think people should read Days with Frog and Toad. Now, you don't have to write your opinion like that. You might have the opinion that somebody shouldn't read a certain book, or you might have the opinion that a book was not enjoyable to read. It's really up to you what your opinion is because it's what you think. I just suggest that whatever book you're choosing to write about is one that you feel strongly about. That means like you really feel kind of passionate about this opinion, because then that way you're going to be able to write about it easier rather than if it's a book that you're just kind of like, so about. That's not going to be as easy for you to write about. So that's our first step. Then we get to R, reasons. You need to give reasons for why you have this opinion. And that's what we're going to be focusing on today, giving reasons to support your opinion. And then on Thursday is when we're going to work on this E, which is evidence. Evidence is when we're going to go into the book and find examples or evidence that match up with your reasons. And I'm going to show you what I mean in a few minutes. And last, we're going to end with restating our opinion again, just to remind the reader what our opinion was. So I want to show you a picture to show why we want to be giving lots of reasons and evidence for our opinion. Because if we just give like one reason for why we think something, it's going to be like this. It's going to have a little bit of that yummy white cream in the middle of the Oreo. It's just going to be okay. But if we want it to be amazing, then we want to give lots of reasons and evidence to support our opinion. And the goal that we're going to have for our writing is that we give 3 reasons to support our opinion. And then for each reason, we're going to go back and find evidence for it. So this is the template that we're going to be using to organize our opinion writing. Now, you don't have to print this out. You can just write the different parts on a piece of paper. But the reason we want to start by using this is to make sure we have all the parts that we need for our opinion writing. And then next week, we'll work on taking what we come up with and writing it on a piece of paper. So as you can see on our template, we have all those parts of Oreo that we just talked about. We want to start with our opinion up here. Then we want to give 3 reasons to support our opinion. And the reason we want to give more than less is not just so we have that amazing Oreo, but it's also because that's how we can be more convincing that our opinion is correct. Then we're going to go back on Thursday and give evidence for each of those reasons from the book. And finally, we just have to say our opinion again in the end to remind our reader what it was. So I've already written my opinion, which is you should read Days with Frog and Toad. Now I'm going to go and look for reasons for why I think this. And I'm going to show you some possible reasons that you could come up with using your book. So when we're coming up with reasons to support our opinion, specifically with a book, there are some different parts of the book that we can look at to find those reasons. So to start, we might look at the characters and think about, was there something about the characters that made me like or dislike the book, depending on what your opinion is. So remember, I'm writing about Days with Frog and Toad. So thinking about the characters in this book, one reason that I enjoyed it and think you should read it is because the characters in this book are really good friends. Frog and Toad Both those characters, I would think, are good friends to each other. So that is my first reason why I think you should read this book. Moving on, another part of a book you can think about is your favorite part. So was there a specific scene or part in the book that you liked? So thinking about this book, there are some funny parts that I really liked. So my next reason might be that there are funny parts in the book. And then on Thursday, when we go back to look for evidence, then I am going to explain one of those really funny parts. Another part of the book you might look at is the pictures. So looking through the book, I can think about, did I like the pictures? And something I like about the pictures and illustrations in this book is that they help me think about how the characters are feeling. So that might be my next reason, that the pictures help me understand how the characters are feeling. And then again, when I'm going back to give evidence, I'm giving an example of one of those pictures that help me understand how the characters are feeling. And finally, you might want to think about the lesson that the book teaches. So in this book, there's little stories. It's not all just one big story. And each one teaches a different lesson. So my reason for why you should read it might just be that this book teaches a lot of lessons. And then when I go back to give evidence, I'm going to choose one of those lessons to give as an example or evidence for that. So now this is my finished graphic organizer for today. So today you're only focused on giving reasons to support your opinion, which is why I highlighted those parts. So you don't need to fill in the boxes for evidence. You don't even have to fill in this box where you say your opinion again. Today you're just focused on choosing a book that you feel really strongly about, thinking about what is your opinion about that book, whether your opinion is just that you should read this book, or that you thought it was a really good book, a fun book, or if you didn't like the book, if you think someone shouldn't read it, whatever your opinion is, that's what you need to come up with. Then you're going to use the book to think about what are your reasons that support your opinion. And then on Thursdays, when we're going to focus on finding evidence for each of your reasons. All right, can't wait to see what you all come up with.